Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Morey Croson from the Performance Lab of California. Today, we're going to do another sprint breakdown on Romell Glave. He is a sprinter out of England. Um, right now, he's the fastest 17-year-old in the world. Runs about a 10.2 100-meter dash. So, I thought that he would be a good person, good example of what we can do to better improve the sprint, and really get those really elite numbers, right? So that's always the goal, just to see what the elite people are doing and just kind of compare them to some other counterparts and some of the other guys that we have also broke down as well. I always like doing the younger guys just because most of our audience is younger developing athletes, and so if you can get a perspective on how other top guys are doing it, then it could help you translate into more speed for yourself. And yeah, so we'll start the breakdown. So a couple things stand out. This is where Romell is here. For his start, this guy right here in the fourth lane actually probably had a better start than him. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look to see what are the differences within the start, and then we're gonna also look to see these two guys here as we get going. We get to start to see some of the inefficiencies between what Romell's doing compared to what these guys are doing, and then even what Romell did against him when it compared to the start. So what stands out with Romell is that his arms are very, especially that left arm. See how it's coming across a lot, and you compare that to the guy here in the fourth lane, where he's much more kind of forward and backwards with his arm swing, which is really more of what you want to do. And he actually starts off with a pretty good little lead, really ahead of everybody, because he's very straight up. He also has like a longer torso, a little bit shorter legs, and that's another thing that I think that would be interesting to kind of talk about the physical traits and how those impact you. So his shorter legs end up kind of hurting him there at the end. And you could see that, but that long torso and the shorter legs makes it so he gets faster turnover, which helped him get a really good start. When you're talking about Romell now, again, the big thing that stands out with him is that arm swing. So that left arm really going side to side is something that's a little bit inefficient. That's what's going to be, as he starts to work on that and starts to get a little bit better control of his arms, he's going to be a lot faster guy because he has a very nice, very natural leg swing, and then he also gets very good air off of each one of his steps. You could see how well he's able to get that vertical lift off in each one of those steps, which is really ends up being crucial in order to maintain that high level of speed. So, as we get further into the race, you can see Romell start to take over. What stands out to me is that if you look at these other two guys to the side, they're very inefficient with how their body's moving, right? So their heads move, especially him, his head's moving a lot side to side as he's going. The guy in the first lane, it's slight, but you can compare that to, since we're going to come to the end here, we'll go back. You can compare that to Romell and how calm he is, right? So you can see that there's not a lot of extra movement going on within his head and his shoulders. He's very smooth, but you can see those other guys here, there on the right, are not the same. They have a lot of shoulder movement side to side, a lot of wasted movement within their sprint, which is something that's very important that you got to think about, is that you want to be able to maintain, a nice ability to stay rigid in those shoulders, in that head, in that neck. And really, you definitely don't want to go kind of forward and back as you're going, and that's where you get that little bit here, and you get that a little bit here with the head kind of bobbing forward and backwards. Okay, and that's something that you definitely want to stay away from. Another big thing that Romell does well that I think is important, especially when he gets to this top end, you could see how high his hand's getting, right? So he gets that hand all the way up to ear height. And we compare that to some of these other guys here, here in that middle lane, where they're just not getting their hands very high up. Okay, and that's going to end up being very important. A lot of times I'll see sprinters and they have a good ability to get their arms back, which I don't think, there's not very many guys that I see here that aren't doing a good job of getting their arms really far back, really reaching back there. But you do see a good amount of guys that aren't getting those hands all the way up. See how his hand's not getting up to his ear height. I think this guy is not getting all the way up to his ear height as well. So that forward, that pec activation when you're coming forward during your sprint is really, really important in generating force and coordination within your body. So the more that you use your arms coming forward, the more power that you're going to get in each one of your steps. I mean, it's very important when you're jumping too to, you know, bring those arms through and up as you're jumping. Just like it is when you're sprinting, it's very important to bring that arm all the way up and all the way through. That's a big part of what drives that opposite hip flexor. So how well he's using his right pec here and how much he's driving with that right arm is a direct indication of how much power he's going to get out of that left leg and that left hip flexors as it's coming up. So when you could sync that up better and really fully utilize your force there, it's going to just make it so you're a faster sprinter. I think that's one of the things that stand out is that, you know, his arm swing is just a lot better than all these other guys, which is probably a key part in, you know, how well he's able to develop force as the race goes on. At the beginning, he takes a little bit to get it going, just because there's some inefficiencies with his arm swing, so he ends up kind of relying on it a lot, which makes it so he can't get the great start. And as he begins to, you know, work on that and starts to become more efficient within the arm swing, you know, I think he'll end up fixing that start a lot. But what separates it is when he gets to the end part. Now his arm swings becomes very efficient and very controlled, and he has that natural ability to get that great vertical force like I was talking about before. So he ends up being able to beat people by a lot because of, you know, when he gets going, how elite that arm swing is and how well he's able to coordinate one arm swing to the other leg hip flexion or leg drive. And then another important part about what he does as well is he has that really good ability to stay controlled and get that good vertical force. So he's not wasting a lot of motion here, and he's continuing to get that vertical force on each one of his steps. You can see, you know, he's touching here, doesn't spend very much time on the ground, but gets a lot of push up and is able to drive that other leg out. And you can see how vertical he's getting as he goes. But he doesn't end up going very much up and down, right? So he's almost like floating here in the air. So see how he does that, how his hip height doesn't change at all as he's going right up through the air. It's really kind of an amazing thing that you're able to do, where, you know, your momentum is going so strong, so far forward that it doesn't even, you know, gravity almost doesn't even have an impact on you as you're in the air. So yeah, that's Romell Glave, one of the new and upcoming fastest sprinters. Thought I would do a quick breakdown on it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some stuff. If you want to check out our membership, you can go onto our website, performancelabofcalifornia.com/members, and that will make it so you can see our free membership and kind of what we do. You can sign up for a free membership. And then from there, we have a $9.99 a month package, or we also have a full year for $99. And what we do is we talk about different exercises to help you get faster. We will do different breakdowns. We'll go into throwing mechanics. We'll give you exercises. I mean, we really have a lot of great content, a lot of great value on our membership page. And then we also have other YouTube videos that are very cool as well, that have all other top sprinters. And the last thing that we do is we'll do breakdowns for you from anywhere in the world. So if you want to send in your video of you sprinting, we can go and look at it and be able to tell you what you can work on, and also give you specific exercises that will make it so you can resist injury and help improve performance. So thanks again for watching, and we will see you soon.